Our song for today is Yes You Can by Marvin Sapp. The key verse is I am no longer doubting because you said yes you can. Let's chat. Welcome. You are listening to the Me, She, and Her podcast, a guided conversation between three friends where we discuss business, leadership, relationship, and fitness based off song lyrics. We use our experiences, testimonies, and throw in a few jokes to bring you an entertaining view of lyrics from popular songs, old and new. Come listen in on the fun. So the question is, what is your measure of success for your life? Is it houses, cars, money, relationship? What do you measure your success upon? Ladies?
Well, the first thing is I think it has changed with age. So
I agree.
Yeah. And because when I read this, I was like, well, that's if you'd asked me at 20, if you'd asked me at 15, if you'd asked me at 30, I would have probably said material things, houses, cars, and those do have a level of achievement or accomplishment attached to it. It's like an asterisk next to it. I think now at 36, I think that me pursuing my goal and my dreams and what I want to accomplish, however that looks like, but then bringing people on. Who else can I empower on their journey? To their destination, whatever that is. And so it's basically how many people I put on.
Right.
In whatever endeavor. It don't got to be what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be what I'm personally doing, but it's whatever they want to do. How can I support that, encourage that, cultivate that, believe in that, pray over that? That's success for me now. Right. And I think I'm not there yet, but I heard my mom say this, that your children's salvation, them having their relationship with God is success for her. And I think for me, my children's, future children's salvation and them knowing God for themselves. And we talk about Jehovah God, just in case y'all confused.
Right.
Black
Jehovah
Jesus.
God, right.
Just because I know everybody confused.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Of Nazareth, not just Jesus Christ. There's several Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah. Of Nazareth.
Of Nazareth. We talk about him. Yahshua. Okay, we talk about him. The Christ.
Okay. Come on.
But I think for me, that is just sitting here thinking about it. And don't get me wrong, I do want houses, cars, purses, diamonds.
All that.
We want all of
that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going on swole.
I'm talking about a lot of zeros with commas.
And
not a negative sign in front of it.
Right.
That is a level of, and building some type of generational wealth.
Yes.
Right. I think that's, for me right now, I've matured in what those things, really, honestly, peace.
Yes.
Peace.
Yeah.
Having peace in just every area of your life, I think where I'm at right now as far as what success and what does that look like. So
I would agree with all that. Especially the peace was actually definitely one of the things on my list. Peace at home and in family life. I think that since it's undervalued, like there's so many things going on around the world, so many things that's happening. But when you come home, you should have that peace. And I think that's one of the things that we should always, me personally, want to strive for is make sure there's peace at home within my, household and within my family. And like when it goes to generational wealth, it's also about financial stability. It's not about a particular house, although I have an idea of what my dream house should be.
The forever home.
Right, yeah. I have an idea of what kind of cars I want, stuff like that. But financial stability, not just in the sense that I just want it to be to a point where money's not the primary driver of the decisions that I make.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not the primary. I don't have to worry about checking the bank account if I want to purchase something or make a decision. Or something.
Yeah.
Remember, E.T.'s wife was like, if I can't buy two, then shouldn't buy it.
Come on.
That hit me.
Stuff like that. That's the train of thought that I'm going in. And not just cash. I'm talking about, in real estate and having wealth in actual land that we can actually pass on, that generational wealth.
Yeah.
I'm like, we were just watching a documentary, or I think it was a documentary or something, or a video I was watching, and it was talking about the reason why, us as a culture are so far behind, a certain other race, the Caucasian race, is because of there was things in history that happened where they got the hands up because they had their families were, were able to get into houses and able to, have some land and have something of value so that they can start building on and give using the equity from that house to send their kids to school and to pass on that wealth as the generations went on. Well, there were roadblocks that we were put up, constitutionally, systematically, that kept, us as a culture in general from having that. I mean, it was very limited people who were able to do that at those times. So I want to be able to get to a point where, I not only my family itself has those things to be able to pass on, but I'm also helping other families get that nest egg, so to speak, or a sense of having some kind of foundation, or for them to build on themselves. Give you something so they can have a hand up and start to build for themselves. And so the other side, just like you said, is not about just myself, but actually building my community. So that as a community that we're thriving. So I'm thinking more than just my circle itself. Yes, I want to help people out in my circle and help my family and stuff like that, but I want to be able to have enough funds to help other people. I'm talking about philanthropic goals that, where I can, like, what we do and what we establish is going to change the course of somebody's family history. Like, that's success. That's the type of success I'm looking at. Be one of those people that when they have the list of stuff rolling down the screen of who sponsored this event on PBC, I want to be one of them names. Or, when you start talking about people building buildings or, building stuff in there, I want to be able to have my family's name up there so we have some kind of legacy. To say, yes, our family built up something to be able to do this.
Absolutely. 100%.
Agree with all of that. I think, like you said earlier, Summer, is that had you asked me when I was 25, when I was 30, now that I'm 39, pushing 40, praise the Lord.
Praise Him.
40 and fine. My scale that I measure my success with has changed. So how I used to measure my success, I no longer measure myself in that type of scale with those type of entities. So for me, I think my measure of success is influence. My level of influence, not only in my definitely in my community, heavily in my community, but also with my family. Also with my friends, and then the community and those around me. So what's my level of influence? That's my measure of success. But yes, I still want the house. I still want the nice cars. I still want all those things, but I want also to be a top influencer. And when I think of a top influencer, I think of someone like Oprah Winfrey. How people seek her out for advice. Because she has proven herself to be wise in certain areas. So, and I think of that. And then also, with anybody who's successful, and I use her because she's the most well-known, the most relatable, the most notable. But then also you have a level of success for influence like Michelle Obama. Her level of influence is huge. To me, that's success. Girl from Southside Chicago, growing up to be the first black African American woman, full black, full African American,
full African American descendant of slaves, because she has not been quiet about that.
Come on, that's her influence.
That's her influence.
So to me, that's the level of success where when you talk, people listen, and you can provoke people to action. That's it. The redefined scale that I now measure myself on, and I know that it's a path to that. I think also for me is that, success is intertwined with your purpose.
I was just about to say that. I was literally I had that thought, like, waiting for you to stop, and I was just about to say purpose. We are on the same page.
Success is intertwined into your purpose. So and E.T. say it all the time, when you operate in your purpose, you will be successful. Your gifts, like he always says, your gifts will make room for you. Your gifts are part of your purpose. You have those gifts, those set of skills that you are uniquely made with, that help you fill out your purpose. And part of that is, and that to me, that is success. When you can fully operate in your purpose, when you fully can operate in the gifts that God has given you, you are operating in success.
Absolutely.
So I think anybody at any level in your life, if you're operating in the gifts God has given you, if you're in line with his will and the purpose he has for your life, you are successful. Whether the bank account is there or not.
Right.
He's still providing.
It may not have manifested.
It may not have manifested, but it's there, and he's on
track.
And you're gonna benefit it in the long run. Yeah. I look at us and how we've been grinding for some years. You know what I'm saying?
Hardcore grinding for the majority of them.
We've been grinding for some years. And we've been grinding in different endeavors. One has been the most consistent, and we've had to kind of take a step back from that and focus on some more stuff in the forefront. But we've been grinding. We've been grinding for some years, so there is no overnight success.
Right.
But I think along the way, we have learned valuable lessons that I think now, where we are now, we are fully utilizing them.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, that is a part of success.
Right.
Yeah.
I think when you can take what you have learned, what you have good and bad, when you can take the lessons that you have learned over the years, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a business owner, when you can take those lessons of defeat, of failure, of shortcomings, and setbacks, and now you are thriving, or you are in line,
alignment,
to thrive. That's success. Little success translate into big success. So I think you have to appreciate the little successes along the way.
Celebrate the little wins.
So success to me is in line with purpose.
Yes.
Was that
you said what I was going to do? That was it. I mean, we talk all the time, just using it. We use ET a lot, but it's very
shout out to ET.
Yeah,
shout out
Eric Thomas, like
hip hop preacher.
He shares a story about the story that made him famous, about being the guru, saying he can't breathe. Like, that was done 20 something years ago. He, at that time, he didn't know it was going to make him the most successful motivational speaker. But he was just doing part of his purpose, and he was working in it. And CJ, his guy he works with, the CEO of his company or whatever, he says all the time, he's like, we were just doing what we thought we needed to do. We're sharing, stories with kids. We were just moving along. But back then, you wouldn't have said he was successful, even though that was the biggest thing he's ever going to do. But one of the biggest things he's ever done.
Right.
It wasn't an overnight success. But here, 20-something years later, he's got his whole family on, his whole company that he's put out. That was a success.
And he's helping millions.
Right. Helping other people. Like, that's not only him, but all the people around him operated in their own purpose.
Yes.
And they came together to work together on something. I think that's why I like, what we've gotten going on now is, we're doing this podcast, but there's other projects and stuff that we're working on, but being right around people.
Yes. Yeah.
Like having, you're not going to be successful with thinking with people who are backwards thinkers.
Right.
Who are people who are, who are crabs in a bucket or trying to keep you down. Like, you have to be very mindful of people you have around you.
And people with hidden agendas.
Oh, yes, that too.
That's the main thing.
And so, that's what I'm saying. Understand your purpose. And yes, there are times where I don't always fully understand, like, what my purpose is or certain things about what I'm supposed to be doing. But it's also, am I moving towards seeking that? Am I asking and praying about that to be shown exactly all of what it should be for me?
Right, that's key.
Like, that's part of what you got to do and the work you got to put in.
And I think that part, what you said, seeking and asking God for what am I supposed to be doing, I think that's key to developing in your gifts, in your purpose, and that way you can be successful.
Right.
Being believers, we know that success comes from God.
Right.
And that no matter what we are, He gives us the ability, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to do the work that we do.
Right.
And He blesses the work that we do. It can't be multiplied without Him.
Right.
No. He's the multiplier.
He's the multiplier. He's the multiplier. Yeah. So seeking that information from Him, and He's not one to not give it. He doesn't grudgingly give.
No.
Seeking, being able to seek that, I think, also is a level of maturity.
Right.
In knowing that you can't do it alone.
Right.
And that success breeds success, but it breeds it in groups.
Yeah.
So let's say for the example of that is one of Jay-Z and Beyonce's songs. Yeah. What's the saying?
When he be like, here we say you broke if everybody is broke except for you.
Right.
That's like,
so
that's my favorite line.
If everybody broke
except for you,
right.
That ain't success.
That ain't success.
Right.
Because your circle
right.
The people you operate with the most, the people you're in contact with the most, heroes should be successful just like you. That's why I give mad respect to LeBron James.
I was just about to say.
His crew,
the whole crew,
his people
the
that he grew up with,
the
5 homies, all successful.
Right.
He got put on. He put them on. And he knew what specialties and gifts they had.
Right.
And they developed those, and now they're successful in those gifts.
Right. One of them is the most highest, I won't say highest paid, but he had 6 clients on the Lakers team. Rich Paul.
Wow.
His friend. Mm-hmm. He's like dominating the agent field. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that until they said that the other day. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you talk about putting people on, that's inspirational.
Right.
And I'm inspired by watching LeBron James put his friends on. Yeah. He knew the character. He knew they were serious. They had his back, and they didn't squander the opportunity that he gave him, because there's other people that tried to put their friends and people on, like Snoop. He talks about it all the time. He put his friends on, but he realized they didn't want it as bad as he wanted it.
The mentality and maturity wasn't there.
Right. But and you can't fault him. I'm not gonna fault him for trying to put his friend. He did.
He tried. He shot the shot.
But you didn't lay it up.
You didn't lay it up.
So that's
he gave you the alley-oop.
I was supposed to say he gave you the alley-oop.
He gave you the alley-oop, and you missed it.
He gave you the layup.
You didn't execute.
You didn't execute. And I think the flip
that's
side.
that Mamba mentality. Execute. Shout out to Kobe.
Shout out to Kobe.
Rest in peace. We love you.
We do love you, Kobe. Even though
I love you.
You know I was a hater, because you used to beat my teams. But I do love you. Greatness.
I had a picture frame of Kobe on my college desk.
That's greatness. Like, that's a love.
In my head, it was me and him. You know what I'm saying?
The world. I think when we talk about the success and your gift and purpose and knowing that, I also think that what comes with maturity with that is knowing that there may be something that you think you're supposed to be doing, but then there's what God actually wants you to be doing.
Okay, come on.
So you can be over there doing something, and it ain't moving as fast as fast as you think it should, or that it could be moving. And then you realizing, wait a minute, I'm really not supposed to be in this space doing this. I'm supposed to be doing that, but over here. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow when you're thinking you're supposed to be doing something else. But God, like, I'm gonna let you go over and do that, but that ain't what when you're ready to come over here, I got you.
Right. That's like that saying, you have your ladder up against the wrong building.
Right.
You thought you supposed to do this, and that, and you've been mildly successful at it.
Mildly.
And that mild success has confused you.
Yeah. Right.
To think that this is my purpose.
Right. Or that's the only purpose.
Right. But God says, no, your ladder
is over.
You know those new ladders that can alter into different formats, and now they're a long table.
Right.
So now it's not only vertical, but now you can horizontal, like you can stand on it.
Right.
Well, the God's telling you, oh no, I got several buildings for you to get up on.
Yep.
But you too focused and confused about this mediocre success.
Right.
That you can't see that all these buildings around here is for you to be successful. Right. So I think that's the key. That's why you gotta seek first.
The kingdom.
The kingdom. You thought you was gonna get through this podcast without little Jesus?
No, Jesus. You can't get through it without
You can't get through it without him. Come on.
It's essential.
It's right.
But the other side of that is also, and going back to having the right people around you, is understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are. Yes. And when you have to say that you may not be, and what your skill set is, may operate in certain fashions, but you may need somebody else with an opposite skill set or another complementary skill set to help you move on. That's why we can't do this by ourselves.
Right.
God places people in your lives to help you in various points in times. Like going back to the ET example, he was talking about, them doing assessments. He's not the pilot, the driving force behind stuff. That's not his skill set. He's the people person. He's the flight attendant. He's the one that's making sure everybody good, making sure, he's the face out front, talking to people and getting stuff and making sure everybody's good. But CJ was the one flying the plane.
Right.
He was the one guiding, some of the direction. Well, if they hadn't realized that about themselves, if ET was trying to fly the plane and talk to people and do everything, it may not have gotten off the ground.
Right.
And so you have to realize that, that even when you're trying to find a partner, is your partner compatible with what's going on with your purpose?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
and like what you got, what God has planned for your life, you have to think about all those different aspects. Because pick the wrong partner, it can take you down the wrong path.
It can kill.
Yeah.
Your God-given God-given purpose and success.
Yes. And destiny. You can
destiny.
Miss your success. So your destiny for that.
Right. You never fulfill your God-given purpose and destiny because you linked yourself
with the wrong person.
With the wrong person.
That was actually a hindrance. Hindrance
and
distraction and destructive to your destiny. And that's why all y'all keep talking about your type and what you think you need. Well, your type can destroy your destiny.
Right, girl. Right.
Because I got a type too, but I already know it's destructive.
It's right. So success.
So come on.
So success.
Come on.
Success might not be linked to the type of man or woman that you're used to dating or attracted to. Because God don't give you what you want. He give you what you need. So what you want ain't good for you. But what you need, you turning a blind eye to.
Because of whatever physical barrier. Because it ain't emotional. It's physical. It's a physical barrier before it becomes mental. Because I know some of y'all cute, but y'all crazy.
Right.
But it's a physical barrier. And then it's a mental thing because they not capable of helping you pursue and fulfill your destiny.
So success should breed success in all areas of your life.
Every area of your life.
You should see the fruit.
Your family, your children, your career, your finances, your health.
Oh, yes.
Every area of your life
should be success.
That's why the Bible tells us that my will is for you to prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Y'all be forgetting that part.
Come
on. God desires me to prosper. Yeah, he said, and be in good health.
Because you can't enjoy success if you sick. You can't enjoy it.
No, you can't go nowhere.
You can't enjoy the fruits of your labor if you sick.
Yep.
And you can't produce good fruit if you sick.
Sick.
Oh my goodness.
Because I know mine has been destroyed in some areas, and I'm trying to get back on the path. And you have to admit that when stuff was prophesied over your life, when God told somebody to tell you something, you got excited about it, and you told me something at 30, but I was 25, 26. I thought I had some time.
Right.
But he ain't never tell you when it was going to happen. He said before you was 30. And my mama has taught me this. When a prophecy comes through, you're in position at that point, but you can get yourself out of position. So don't mean the prophecy wasn't true. You got yourself out of position. And I knew exactly when I got myself out of position. That doesn't mean the prophecy wasn't true. Now it's just taking me longer to get there.
Right.
Because of destruction to my destiny. Being with people who I wasn't supposed to be with. That's just what it is.
Right. Yep. Right.
And I'm not just talking about in a relationship. Friends too.
Yes.
Friends.
Oh,
oh my God.
Friendship.
We'll be there.
Can and is the number one killer of destiny and purpose and success.
Yes. Say that
because who you share.
Yes.
Your dreams.
Yep.
Your goals.
Your thoughts.
Just a thought.
Snatch it out there.
Can destroy. Destroy it. And you call them friends.
Yeah. Before you can even get out the ground, you thought about it.
I shared this with you.
And told you, and you killed it before I could even.
And they over here praying for your family.
Praying against you. Witchcraft.
Yep.
Against you. But they your friend though. Y'all down like 4 flat tires. Y'all grew up together.
You gotta be careful who you share your vision with.
You have to be careful.
About anything.
Yes.
About a job, about a business idea, about your kids, about your spouse, about somebody you date, like all of them.
Protective of your vision.
Right. You gotta protect it like a mama cub, bear over her cub.
Yeah, you gotta protect it.
Because friends, Jesus, I can't even go on. Friends are destructive too.
Right.
Yep. Friends are just as destructive as who you decide to be in a relationship with, date, marry.
Right.
They almost neck and neck.
Right.
Yep.
And I would say friends and family.
Yeah.
Family. Because family can be destructive too in terms of your vision.
Yes. Because they've never maybe accomplished something.
Or they scared. They're scared about you failing.
Yeah.
But that's the whole idea.
And fear can crush your success.
Exactly. Fear that's projected onto you.
Right.
Not even so much your fear.
Yeah.
It's the fear that other people project on you because they fearful.
Right.
And you start second guessing you.
Well, they'll put their failures on you. Expecting you to have the same
and
failure.
see, that comes back to the different measurable of success. They measure their success in one way. you're measuring yours in one way, and how they measure it kind of cap yours.
Yes, right.
So now, how you envision, and see, that's why, as a parent, that's why I'm so cautious, and I'm so particular, and I pay so close attention to when Aiden shares his ideas with me, on what he want to do, on what he do, and even when he's drawn something as simple as a picture or something, how I react to it, I'm cautious about, because how I view it, because he's impressionable stage, so how I view it could dim his light.
And he might not.
And he might not do it ever again. But he good at it. So I now have crushed his dream, his goal about it. So as a parent, even how you measure your success can affect your children and how they measure it.
Absolutely. I mean, how many parents have killed their children's dreams?
Probably
how many?
Right.
Like, I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say later on in life, well, as a child, you know, my mom said this, and so I just didn't do it. Or my dad said this, and I just didn't. They told me I couldn't do that. Or they told me I wasn't good at that. Or a teacher
told me I wasn't going to amount to nothing.
A teacher told me I wasn't going to. You know, somebody that was supposed to be, you know, somebody protecting, encouraging. Like, so that's why you got to be mindful of, like, so who you share your dream. Well, obviously kids don't know. They share with somebody precious. They, you know, but at the same time, us as, you know, as individuals have to be mindful of and cautious and protective of other people's dreams. If you are a friend and you're sharing something with me, now, of course, you know, I want to help you avoid some pitfalls, but I got to be mindful of the tone and how I respond to what you're saying. Like, that's also about being careful about what that person entrusted you with.
Being conscious, being intentional about your response to that person.
Right.
Making sure that you're not over projecting. That's good. Let's talk about a few things and make sure that, hey, I support it. I'm that person. I'm saying, hey, look, you come with me. I'm like, I support you. Whatever you want to do, because you want to go do it. But let's just make sure we got A, B, and C covered. You got that covered. Let's do it.
Right.
We good to go.
Yeah, I think there's factors that go into how effective you measure your success. And those factors are your friends, your family, your children, your mate, on how you measure your success. And I think being mentally strong to where you don't allow anything that doesn't sit right with you or settle right with you when it comes to how you view your vision and your level of success to affect you. I think that sometimes friends don't always get it.
Right.
Like, when I pitched y'all the idea of a podcast, what? Where we go? And then to come with this name.
Right.
Yeah. Like, what that mean? What
give me a little more information.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's different factors that play a part into how effective or the level of success, but you still have to be strong in your conviction about it, your destiny, about your dream, about your goal, about how successful you are, that you still press forward.
And you have to communicate it effectively. Because you know, not to say, you know,
that's what I was trying to
not to say it's a bad idea, but if you communicate it the wrong way, people may get the wrong idea in what in their head of what they're thinking you're talking about, and therefore they may say something that ends up being negative, but you may not have communicated to me in a way that makes sense to me for me to understand, oh, that's what you mean. Right. So like with the podcast, I took the time to think it through before I brought it to y'all. Exactly.
So that when you ask questions, I had an answer.
Thank you. Because you know I'm going to ask questions.
I know you're going to ask it.
So what we doing here? What's this? What's the idea behind it?
And then I'm not going to ask none. So I was like, all right. All I said was, I ain't leading this. I'll be here. It's your baby. You do it, and I'll be there. So I was the complete opposite. Do you, boo? What you want me to show up and just talk?
I asked questions for understanding. So,
right. Which we know.
So she knew that
she had
about
to be prepared.
Me, and had prepared and had a vision. She had the vision of what she wanted, and was she was strong in the conviction of what she had, you know, in that vision. And so when she came, it was like, oh, ask a couple questions. Oh, well, shoot, you got this planned up. All right, let's go. What we doing?
And I think that's what a lot of people fail at.
Yes, they don't take the time.
They don't take the time to fully develop your idea. They don't take the time. When you're in partnership with people and you have idea or a vision of something, you need to be able to fully communicate that to your partner, whether it's a partner as a friend or it's a partner as a spouse. You need to be able to fully communicate that so that the groundwork of it, the foundation of it, is fully understood.
Right. Yep.
And now y'all can build upon that to create greater success.
Right. I give you a perfect example. My fiance wrote a book. He called it Our Children Have Rights. And it's about helping guiding parents or fathers in particular through unwed situations with children.
And book available on Amazon.
Yes, at Amazon.
Plug.
Yes. Our Children Have Rights, available right now on Instagram and on the website. But at first when he came into the idea about the book, I was just like, oh, okay. Because we were still kind of going through the situation. And I'm like, why is he writing a book about a situation you still dealing with it?
Still trying to conquer.
And so, he went back. He just kind of put it out there a little bit and went back and developed it more and came back and then shared some more information. So he went back and realized, all right, well, maybe I need to develop this some more. And then once he started to have fully developed and started to, have some stuff written and all that stuff, and he shared that, it was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. Because I was like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to accomplish? So like, that's the same thing. He had to take a step back. All right, before I fully share, I have this idea, but let me go back and let me develop this some more. So when I share it with her, she can understand what I'm trying to do. What's the end goal there.
Right.
And over time, everybody finally got it written and now it's manifested and out and available. Out, came out October 1st. Now I know what it was. I understand what the purpose of it was behind it, but it took him taking some time between his first bringing it up and us having another discussion about it for him to develop it so that I really understood what he was trying to accomplish. Because at first I was like, all right, you ain't never wrote a book before. Why are you writing a book now? And you still dealing with the situation right now.
Right.
Like, so what are we trying to accomplish here? So, like, that's what I'm saying. And it wasn't, like, negative. I was just trying to understand. Like, well, this is new. What we doing? And plus I ask questions a lot, which he knows. So he had to take a step back. But that's what I'm saying. It just goes back to that. Be careful about success. There's different levels. And we're all striving. I can say I'm successful right now at certain things. Like career-wise, I achieved getting my CPA license. That was part of my success.
Right.
Or I did, other steps. And we're working on some other projects now that's going to go towards me being, like, success isn't a one-time thing.
No.
It's a marathon.
I look at it as a staircase.
You got to keep going up and keep progressing.
Each step is a level
another
level of success. And I think we look at the professional athletes, music artists, movie artists, all of them, because they make millions of dollars, kind of gauge that as the ultimate level of success.
Right.
But on a smaller scale, you have to examine your own life and what success is for your life.
Right.
And again, it comes into purpose and calling.
Yeah.
So one of success, or for me, graduating high school. Getting a college degree.
Right.
My parents don't have college degrees. Step towards success.
Yeah, right.
I look at it as there's staircases to success, and your goal is to keep stepping higher.
Right.
Because it's never meant for you to stay or get stagnant.
Right.
Like you're on the escalator, you going up and come back down. When you see people tomorrow that run up the stairs, you're like, okay, you getting there a little faster. And everybody, have their own staircase to climb.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Hey.
And the other thing is, you can't always look at somebody else's success and see, because their family
life, yours by that.
Their family life may be horrible. It may be trash.
Right.
But they're successful because you think they're successful because they got a lot of money.
So that's what we used to learn, that tunnel vision.
Right.
We used to hit one. Right. A lot of books we didn't read talk about tunnel vision and how you can't look to your left or your right at somebody else's race.
Right.
You have to put your blinders on, like you running in the Kentucky Derby, and keep your tunnel vision on what you have, your goal, what is success for you. Because I think a lot of people get misguided, sidetracked, depressed because they're looking at someone else and comparing themselves to that success.
Right. Especially this day and age with social media and how prevalent it is. And even after COVID, like, we didn't have nothing to do something. A lot of us were, work was different or it wasn't working or whatever your case may be. You were online more and you're seeing all these things and all these people, new Instagram people. You see these kids making millions of dollars on freaking YouTube or Instagram. And you're like, what was I doing all my life at 21? How did you can easily get depressed about I'm a loser because this little 21-year-old kid and made $20 million on YouTube. Oh, no, this 7-year-old kid then just created a YouTube page doing reviews on toys and get more money than people that I know together. Like, you know, you can easily get sidetracked about seeing other people's, you know, what the society perceives as success, monetary success.
Right.
And lose track of what you're doing, what your purpose is. So,
and then that's another scale that you measuring your success on.
Right.
Yep. Other people. Younger people.
Yeah. Right.
Social media.
Trying to keep up with the Joneses. So people who don't even care about you.
Don't know you exist. Don't even know you exist. That's another scale that you're measuring yourself on. So it's like you have to define what is your measuring stick for your success.
Right. And stick to it.
Right. Stick to it. Don't fluctuate or change every week, every day. You measuring your success. No, you set the goal. What the Bible say? Write the vision. Make it plain.
Make it plain.
So you write your vision and you develop steps and a plan to achieve it, and you stick to that. That's your level of success. To me, like it's staircases. What's your plan and your steps? Each step is a victory, is a level of success because you're getting closer to the end goal. You're getting closer to your vision and your dream.
Yeah, and even if you have to take one step back to go 2 steps forward, as long as you stay on that staircase, and long as you stay in the purpose and on the right ladder, you know, that's the important thing. So I challenge everybody at this point in time, like, you know, write down the things that you want, write down the things, the measures of success you want, you know, you want to abide by, write down the goals and dreams that things that you have, and write down what you think your purpose is. Like, take the time to have some self-reflection, because if you don't write it down, or if you don't make it plain to yourself, write it in your phone, whatever you need to do.
Right.
Agreed. So I think altogether Marvin Sapp's song is just a declaration of you can do it.
Right.
You have greatness inside you to achieve everything you dream and envision for yourself and for your family.
Yes.
You just need to now apply a plan and the work ethic.
Right.
That's it.
And you can achieve it. We're in the midst of it. This podcast is just one of the many entities that we're now trying to develop, one of the many levels of success for which we're now gearing ourselves into. Overall, your measure of success is uniquely to you. We want to thank you all for tuning in to Me, She, and Her podcast, a guided conversation between 3 friends. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends and family about us, and we will chat with you soon.